And we are live, I think. Okay, so if you're here, you've probably seen us on Twitter, the LGG, landgrantgauntlet.com. This is a new feature we're kind of experimenting with. It's supposed to be very informal. This isn't going to be like a traditional show with hosts and co-hosts and you know, guests and that kind of thing. This is kind of like we in the past, you've seen the Land Grant Gauntlet do headlines or kind of a daily link dump to kind of just talk about what's going on in the world of the Big 12 Conference football and even a little bit of news outside of it. We're going to kind of try something new and take that into a video form where it's just one of us. It'll either be me or Brady Trantham or someone hopping on every day at noon, every weekday, and kind of talking about the news from that day or the last day and just kind of chat with everybody and see what you guys say and kind of have a discussion. Obviously, if you put a comment there, you know, we'll kind of talk about it. Also, if you don't know, the Land Grant Gauntlet is turning 2. Entering our 3rd year. It's kind of, it doesn't seem like it's been 2 years, but that's kind of crazy. And I think that as we continue to grow, we're looking for new ways to kind of bring you guys content, and this is one of them. Also exciting news, I'd like to introduce Brady Trantham, who is now our Director of Recruiting for the LGG. I'm kind of nervous. Every time I do one of these live shows, I always get a little bit nervous. Let me back up. I'm Chris Ross, the founder of the LGG, and to go back to what I was saying, Brady Trantham will be our, he's going to be our Director of audio-visual content, so you'll see him a lot. Patrick Mayhorn will be our Director of Recruiting, as Brady just announced. I think I might have said that backwards the first time. As I said, a little bit nervous. Don't know why. Okay, so this episode, got a little bit of news. We'll do this daily. I only want it to be about 10-15 minutes, if that. We'll kind of the show will probably evolve a little bit as we go on. This very first time, we don't know kind of how we have a vision for what it should be, but how we kind of get there may change a little bit. Right now we're utilizing Facebook Live. We'll throw it up on YouTube afterwards, and kind of talk any kind of links we talk about, news we talk about, we'll provide in the description as soon as the video's over. Kind of no real way to do that during the video, unfortunately. We don't have the software for that yet. So anyway, before we get going here, I'm actually going to tweet this link out, I think, so we want people to watch. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Let me grab this here, which is weird because I can see my profile over here on the screen and it's a little bit delayed. And then I will tweet this out. Alright, tweeting live on Facebook Live. It's kind of weird. Alright, so thank you guys for those that are joining. A little bit of news. TCU. I'm going to butcher the name. I always do. Tipa Galeai. Is that right? I don't know. Type it out. Don't say it a whole lot. Okay, so anyway, he apparently he got drunk. He chased down a couple of students, beat them pretty severely, and now he's no longer at TCU. So that's a little bit of news there. We have that on the front page of the Land Grant Gauntlet Live, or Land Grant Gauntlet .com. So anyway, I really have to applaud TCU for just dismissing him. Obviously these are alleged assaults. He's not been convicted yet, but it was captured on video. There is a witness, and it's pretty cut and dry. I applaud TCU for not only suspending him from the football team, but just removing him from campus altogether. Very strong move by the university for a very violent attack, and whether he's intoxicated or not, that's not an excuse. And so I definitely like seeing that What do you guys think about that? Did TCU react too strongly? Should they give him a second chance, or is he, now he can go earn that second chance elsewhere? We've seen kind of other universities take a different approach. How do you think? Tell us what you think of how TCU's kind of handled that. There's not a lot of news this week other than some combine news. Baylor's Katie Cannon, Oklahoma's Samaje Perine, TCU's Avante Collins, Oklahoma State's Chris Carson, Texas Tech's Patrick Mahomes, and West Virginia's Shelton Gibson. All 6 of those guys earned top performers in the combine this weekend. We'll have an article. I'm working on that right now. I was kind of trying to get that out before the show, but a lot of stuff going on. So that'll come out right after the show. What do you guys think about combine news? Is that something you want to hear more of, less of? As soon as the football season ends, I'm kind of already looking off towards next season, and I don't know if you guys want to see more combine news, then definitely let us know, and we'll be able to provide more content around that. But definitely some guys worth noting there. Did very well this weekend. In action today, if you're watching any combine, OSU's Ashton Lampkin and West Virginia's Rasal Douglas, both defensive backs. They're in action today as the combine kind of wraps up. There's a little bit of recruiting news as well. Oklahoma, both out of the Sooner State. Oklahoma landed a 3-star safety, Patrick Fields. He's out of Tulsa, and Oklahoma State landed a 3-star tackle, Hunter Anthony, out of Tuttle, Oklahoma. So both in-state guys. They'll both do their schools well. Tackle is a big need for the Pokes. I know they kind of missed on that this year, so that's a pretty big pickup. I think Oklahoma, everything I've heard, they're high on the Fields kids, so kind of good news there. Kind of gets us at, we're reaching that 10-minute mark, 15-minute mark. Like I said, I want these to be quick. Kind of get you in and out for your lunch break there, lunch hour. If you looked at, we're having more recruiting stuff, and I think that's really cool. Patrick Mayhorn is, he was all over National Signing Day, and so now he's kind of our recruiting director. And another brand new feature besides this show that you'll see is if you go to the webpage, you'll see recruiting, and then you'll see the 2018 class underneath that, and you can kind of click on by school. We have kind of who's committed and their stars and their rank and all that stuff, so you kind of check that out. We have each team's class profile for the 2018 class online. It's live right now. You can go check that out right now. That's pretty cool. Very excited with the stuff Mayhorn is doing and things he has planned to do, and we have things coming up. To kind of wrap up this first episode, kind of a rough episode. I hope I get a little bit better here. And it won't always be me. It'll be, Brady Trantham and stuff. We're trying to build more out into the audio-visual content side of things, so you'll see a lot more of that from us here in the near future. Couple other things we got going on, features. We got kind of an early look at the 2017 schedule. Baylor's is up now. I think Iowa State's up or coming up. Kansas is going to release probably tomorrow. And I know if you're looking for later today, Patrick Mayhorn's got the recruiting profiles for Fields and Anthony going up here soon in the next hour or so. And then we also, I won't unveil it yet because it's not quite ready, but we have a new t-shirt coming out, which is going to be really cool for Oklahoma State fans. We're kind of excited about this design. I won't give any spoilers, but just kind of stay tuned. That should be in the next day or so. So maybe tomorrow we can talk about that. And then we have, the last thing here, what's help us kind of gauge the interest. In the next couple of days, we'll kind of talk about, as we near the LGG's birthday, the interest in like an LGG shirt, with our logo on it and stuff like that. Something we don't really have right now. We're sure kind of the interest for that. We may put that up, and with a couple of designs, let us know. But I think that is all I have today. Be sure to let us kind of, give us your comments on stuff. This is a very fluid show. We want this to be interactive, where we kind of chat with you, talk about LGG stuff, talk about football stuff, talk about other stuff. We have the Big 12 tournament in basketball coming up, and then, you know, March Madness. So we can, even though we focus more on football in this show, we can kind of encompass a few more talking points if you want, because it's sports and we all love sports. I think that's all we have for today. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We'll see it up on YouTube after this. You can always watch it again here in the show, and then join us tomorrow at noon. Bye, guys. Oh, be sure to share, like. I don't think this can be a proper show if I'm not asking people to share and mash that like button, you know, whatever those YouTubers say. Okay, thanks, guys.